It's actually worse than that. You know what it is? It's more like a service dog. Like, I do all the work, and then they go live with somebody else. I'm not that generous. I am, however, quite popular with the geriatric community. Yeah. Also the unstable and unkempt variety. I don't know what it is, but there is something about me that makes anybody think that they have a shot. Seriously. I'm not even joking. I once gave a homeless guy $1, and then he asked me out for coffee. Yeah, because he and I are going to find coffee for $1. So let's see. You should hear the compliments I get. Oh my God. These are all true. A guy once said to me, "Oh my God, I think I'm in love with you. And you're not even the prettiest girl that I know." Wow, thank you. An 80-year-old, in an effort to hit on me, explained, "You're not as pretty as your friend, but you've got the eye contact." Wow, thank you. Apparently that's very popular with the homeless. Yeah, I don't know. It goes back to that whole question of being single again. I didn't expect to be single again. Did you expect to be single at this point in your life? Yeah. Okay. Right on target. All right. Well, but you seem to be fine dealing with yourself. You get along perfectly. Might just be the perfect way to do it. Did you see the two single guys here, though? I was going to ask, do you like children?
Yes.
Are you allergic to cats?
Nope.
So,
how many children he has.
oh, how many children have you got? One. Why was that such an important question?
Somebody else.
Oh, thought I was talking to somebody else. That's funny. So who's the person in the room who has a lot of children?
And is single.
Ah, how many do you have? 4? 5? It's hard to remember with that many. I can imagine, like, I don't know, it's like a pack of them. Not quite enough to play baseball, but a lot. Yeah. 2 feels like 10, so I don't even know what 5 feels like. I can't even imagine.
We have 5.
You have 5? Wow, do you get their names right? No, my mom, we had 2, and I was an only child until I was 8, so it can't be that hard. And she would call me by the cat's name or the dog's name. So 5 kids, that's got to be tricky.
2 are twins. You have to make sure you get them right.
Yeah, they get offended when you call them by the wrong name, because that probably happens a lot.
Still mess with you.
Nice. So interestingly, do you guys struggle with the getting older thing? Yeah?
Yes.
Because I have to say, I've noticed a couple of things lately about it, and I'm curious to know if you guys are sort of on par with this.
There was no struggle until there was LASIK. Your eyes were supposed to go bad, so you always look good.
Oh my God, you know what? In high definition television, so her point was, until LASIK it was fine because nobody could really see anything. And now everybody can see really clearly, so we know what's happening, which is part of the problem. But I have a friend who does the news, and she said when high definition TV came out, everybody freaked because you could see everything. They weren't accustomed to that, yeah. Well, so one of the things that I've noticed has come up for me is this expectation to stay young or to look young. I mean, the thing about it is that, even if you can get away with it, even if you can get by as looking young, it doesn't matter. You can't hang your hat on it because it doesn't last. It's always going to be fleeting. And it's actually worse than I thought, for me anyway. I did some math, which explains the headache. And if I live to be 80, I've already been middle-aged for years. The power of denial is phenomenal. I did not even realize that was true. Anyway, I struggle with this a lot, I do. And I have a friend, I called her an older, wiser friend. And I expressed some of my concerns, and she said, "Oh, honey," because that's what older, wiser women say. She said, "Oh, honey, don't you know you will only become more and more beautiful as you age?" you'll just never be prettier than you are today. What? Oh my God. I slept in, I didn't know. That was difficult. Yeah, I didn't realize how attached I was to the whole idea of staying young. But I started to think about it. I don't bake. I can't sew. I had a lot of eggs in that basket. Not that they're viable anymore. But, oh, and speaking of bad eggs, let's talk about teenagers. Does anybody here have teenagers? Oh, well, in that pack of 5, sure. And you have teenagers as well? Yeah, do you have boys or girls? Yeah.
One of each.
One of each. Do you think one is harder than the other?
A little bit, yes. The girl's harder.
The girl's harder? And how about you with your gaggle? Boys and girls?
Girls.
Girls are harder?
Yes, girls are harder.
Wow, interesting. Wouldn't it be funny if our kids knew each other? Oh my God, who's their probation officer? Oh, you guys thought I was kidding? Here's a funny story, also off script. So my son, when he was 15, he got a trespassing ticket for night swimming. Trespassing ticket for night swimming. Whatever, rite of passage, no big deal. Turns out, in Lakewood, it's a mandatory 3-month probation with drug tests. It also turns out he was a fan of the weed. So it took my son 2.5 years to get off of his 3 months of probation. But when he finally did it, I mean, we were all so excited, like, what a low bar, right? You're like, oh my God, 2.5 years, 3 months of probation, good job. But we were all excited, and his probation officer was like, let's move up the court date, we'll get you out of here, I'm so proud of you. Really, this all happened, it's embarrassing, but. So we moved this court date up, this was last year, to August 14th. So exciting. So he's about to come off probation. Well, it turns out sometime in September, my other son gets busted for having weed. Has to go to court. Same day, same judge. One off, one on. Mother of the year. That's right. Yeah, kids are tough, man. I'm a single mom, well, obviously. I love the job, but I hate the term. I do, I hate it, because I feel like it implies martyr. You know, like I'm some desperate, oppressed victim who needs to be saved. And so I'd like to set the record straight, because that could not be more true. Seriously, it is so hard, I don't even know how I get through the day sometimes. With all that support, with the probation officer and all. No, but I think it's even more challenging for me because I have 2 boys, and it's a lot of pressure being their first significant female relationship. You know, it's really hard not to damage them, is my concern. I don't know if I'm saving for college or for rehab. And actually, now that I've told you that story, I think we all know what I'm saving for, so that's obvious. Yeah, I think that unfortunately there are just a lot of opportunities to break them. You know, like when I was working out with a trainer. I was so sore the next day that I couldn't unhook my bra. So I had to ask my 12-year-old. Yeah, that'll leave a mark. Yeah, raising kids is tough. And as far as for those of you who have teens, were those first marriage kids or second marriage kids? First? And how about you? First. And so, how old are your teens now? 14 and 16. Whew, yeah, you've still got a little ways to go. One of mine just turned 18, but it's not like they leave. It's not like they just suddenly manage life and leave and go do things. It's not like that at all. I don't know, for me, I have reconciled that parenting's just hard. It just is. And, you know, even the stuff I thought I had going for me kind of blows up sometimes, you know? Like, I like to think of myself as kind of a young, hip mom. Except when I say things like young, hip mom. But I mean, generally speaking, for having kids in high school, and they hate it. They would so much rather I be wearing mom jeans and Crocs. And I had to explain to them, that is not who I am. Not until I remarry. Then I'll let myself go. again. I am also a huge fan of honesty and integrity, particularly in other people. I actually recently discovered I'm kind of a liar myself. And I lie about the stupidest things, like I was in the bathroom and I could tell that there was someone in the stall next to me. So I pull out that like paper seat cover thing, and I'm laying it on top of the toilet and it falls right in, which doesn't matter. It's not like I actually used them. I just wanted her to think that I did, right? So then I finished first. So on my way out, I turned on the faucet and pretended to wash my hands. Just kidding, I wash my hands, usually. I'm also a fan of the nonverbal lie. Makeup, push-up bra, self-esteem. I know, it's like I'm a mirage. Although, here's what I've learned about lying. I am just not at that point in my evolution where I'm not gonna lie. So I figured just make peace with it, And the least I could do is I could give a little disclaimer, right? So the next chance I had, I said, listen, I just want to let you know that if the truth gets too uncomfortable, probably gonna lie. It didn't really go that well. No, it turns out perjury, it actually is a big deal. Although, just to be clear, I don't lie about everything. There are certain sacred questions that I will always answer honestly. Do you believe in God? Now that is a question of profound personal truth. Are those real? Equally profound. And I'm never gonna lie about my age. I want credit for looking this good at 30. Or something like that. Anyway, that is my time. Thank you guys so much. Happy 40th reunion. And again, maybe a round of applause for Randy. And for this amazing slideshow that everybody put together. Really good, really good.
Elena McMillan, give her a big hand.